Hey there, it's CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana. Across the Red River is beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. Uh, and, well, uh, always come check us out. Tomorrow's the big day that I'm going to meet up with some people, and we're going to go see a concert at the Red River Revel. And then I'm going to go after that, I'm going to go see Rocky Horror Picture Show. Uh, right here is uh, I guess the Shreveport headquarters of G Unit Studios. Uh, you know, the proprietor 50 Cent, he's got studios in here in Shreveport. He's got studios in Houston. He's got, so he's diversified. So anyway, uh, I think they're doing like short film and animation there, which brings me to some itinerary. I told you about the Red River Rebel, tomorrow. And then, of course, Monday. Okay, I'm all excited about this cruise again. You know, for a couple of days, I really wasn't. I was really at ease, or really not at ease with that one night in New Orleans, and it was just a rough communication. But you know, we got things figured out. I almost canceled the trip. I had such anxiety behind it, but I'm going. You know, I paid for it. I'm going, and yay! And I did. I texted some things, and it came out really cross, more than I intended to. When I went back and I reread it after I sent it, it was like, wow. I better find some sort of way to fix this, because it looks a lot more blown out than what I really do feel. It had a lot to do also with the fact that I'm not smoking. I'm completely nicotine free, sort of. I'm still detoxing from that. The big thing about smoking, when you're so used to just, it's a habit, it becomes a gesture. Do you know what I mean? If you're not a smoker, maybe you don't. I was never a big smoker, and or a heavy smoker, but I didn't realize how much of it had become part of. And it became sort of oh cool, here, let me just get the cigarette, light it, blah blah. It's the whole gesture of it, you know. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm so far I'm being quite successful, and that's good, you know. So I've decided to keep at it, come what may, and not smoke. So you guys are gonna get sick of hearing about that because I talk about it in every video. But at least I'm talking about something other than my keto diet. One of the reasons why I have to go on this trip, and maybe I will get inspired. You know, a lot of the poetry that I have written to be included in my book, I haven't talked about that in a minute, like a very short minute. The poetry that I've written, some of it's inspired by New Orleans, and I'm going to spend a night in New Orleans, in the French Quarter of all places. So, my idea was to take the cruise and see if there's something inspirational about the cruise. Maybe I'll go down and I'll write a few more pieces about New Orleans, probably about the horrific gentrification that happens there, because it gets worse and worse every time I go down there, meaning that it gets better and better every time I go down there, but also not really, because what made the French Quarter was the worst and the worst. You know, it was your true red light district, and it was a residential where people lived, you know, and all these different cultures and everything right next to each other. And that's not really the case anymore. But hey, I mean, there's, you know, there are ways to go down there still and lose oneself, you know, and have fun. But it's really just sort of like this. There was this bar down there, and I guess they changed the name of it, or it's become something else or something like that. When I lived there around 2000, the millennium, and I've lived there a few times. That's just one of the times that I lived there for a couple of years. There was this bar just outside of the French Quarter in the Bywater or the Marigny, Third Ward. That it was called the Cowboy, and it was a male-only bar, and it had a swimming pool, and people were invited to, swim in the pool and wear what you brought, and if you didn't bring anything, that's cool. You're welcome. That's fine. A little cheeky nudity wasn't. No. One thing I don't do is walk way back in a corner when I'm being hailed down, not hailed, but hailed, called, beckoned. You don't go into you don't do that. You don't do that. That's it. That's a good way to get relieved of your wallet any place that you are. But that's cool. You don't have to be rude. You just say, no, and then keep on walking. So anyway, what was I talking about? New Orleans, right? Yeah. So this gentrification of New Orleans. Maybe I'll write about that if I look around and see the state of it. Maybe I'll do a comparison piece. The different eras, because I've lived there. The first time, I know, not so much the eras of New Orleans, but maybe the eras of myself as I went to New Orleans. Kind of like a life retrospection on the Big Easy, as told through the stages of a life, kind of a la The Giving Tree. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to. I'll start on that. I'm going to do that and include it, because I got some stuff about New Orleans. But
Are you vlogging?
Yes.
Fire! What are you vlogging? We just went in there. It's so creepy, bro. You should do it.
Oh, I love that place.
It's creepy as fuck.
No, I'm literally just walking around talking,
Oh, that's fire.
heading to the bus station for a gym.
Huh?
Heading to the bus station to go to the gym
Oh, hell yeah, man.
and talking. So yeah,
Hell yeah, man.
you guys want it? Okay. So what's up?
What's up, dog?
Yeah, no. So that's actually, it's an old cemetery, but it's also like it's a park. It's like
Oh, really?
they like a state park, and so they tend to it and everything like that. You guys skate, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
You want to skate?
I don't know any tricks. I mean,
I know one trick.
All right. Yeah, take it easy. Later, man. Takes all kinds, man. I went to see a short film, and the short film was it was called In Passing, and I still have the flyer from that short film. And it was basically, what it is it was a skater on his skateboard, and he was going by, and as he passed by people, he had his camera, his phone or whatever, and basically yeah. So, yeah, did a movie about people in downtown Shreveport. Just a community and the people that you would see, just hey, passing by, and they were just given the wave, the high sign or anything like that. But yeah, so these little motherfuckers, yes sir. I mean, God damn it. I guess I must look like I'm in my 50s to people who are not old enough to buy a pack of cigarettes. Although when I used to smoke, I was buying packs of cigarettes at like 10 years old. So, the 7-Eleven where we lived did not give a damn. There was this one lady, I went in there and I was shopping and I was, I was perusing it, looking at the different types of cigarettes, the way I would be looking at the titles of the paperbacks they used to sell at the 7-Eleven. It's not there anymore. But anyway, actually we don't have 7-Elevens here now. We have Circle K's. But anyway, and I went to order the very first pack of cigarettes I ever paid money for myself was Marlboro Menthol Ultralight 100s. Is that not the weakest damn cigarette? And she she's like, who are these for? It's like, she was like, no one ever buys those. She's like, who the hell are these for? And I'm like, for me. She's like, whatever. Yeah, back then they didn't care, I wish they would have. Maybe I wouldn't have gotten, if it weren't so normalized, if it had not have been so normalized, maybe I would have, not started smoking as early, and then who knows, maybe I would not have started smoking. But also, who are we kidding? Between the alcohol and the pot and some of the other chemicals, I would have smoked. So whatever. Can't blame what isn't to blame. But yeah, okay. So they're not old enough to buy cigarettes, but they're old enough. It's not that late, actually. It's about 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm like, what are they doing out this late? I'm usually out walking 2 or 3 in the morning. So yeah. And then that cemetery really is a state park, and it's historic. And there's a mound of people that are buried that for the longest time was unmarked. And but also, were they skating? Were they really skating, or were they haunting? I mean, I would hate to think about something tragic, but they did just come right out of the cemetery. And yeah. So, hang on. Okay. Yeah, literally, what if they were like little Caspers or something like that? Like something happened to them. Because it's hard for me to tell one curly blonde-haired skater from another. One's short and one's tall. That's all I know. That is all I know. And I don't know. But we used to get into so much trouble downtown. So yeah, what if they were like ghosts? And they're like, oh, we want to do a skate. This whole like Shreveport area, that whole row back there where I was walking up, actually Austin Place. That whole street down there, between that Elvis Presley Boulevard, that whole like section is haunted ground. Everybody's got a haunted house story of the houses that are there, or there's some tragedy that happened there and all that. So why not, right? But no, they're probably cool little dudes, and they're like skating around, and they're like, yes, sir. Grandpa. And I'm like, I'm going to the gym, dude. I'm gonna go get muscles. I'm not old. Oh well. You know what it is? It's his hat and these fucking glasses making me look like George Burns in Oh God, the first one. And consequentially, I can't say that word. Anyway, apropos, or whatever. I don't know the words. And my damn teeth that I got fixed, I can't speak correctly, but consequently, maybe that's it. He, whatever. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, in Oh God, the first one, George Burns looked his oldest to me out of all of them. He looked pretty old in the George Burns and Gracie Allen show anyway, but yeah, say goodnight, Gracie. I know that because my mother used to watch her older television programs on Nickelodeon. The one Nickelodeon program, they showed vintage television programs, the one Nickelodeon channel, before there became the Nick at Night and TV Land and all that, you know. So kind of cool. But yeah, they would show the kid programming during the morning time. It was like a program. It started out being its own. It had a network of its own called Pinwheel, and Nickelodeon got a hold of it, and it became like it was like it absorbed the network of Pinwheel, and then it did show for 6-hour blocks episodes of Pinwheel. They made it like all the shows, all the programming, put them into one program and called it Pinwheel, and gave it a host and a wraparound and stuff. So and then they started after school with the older elementary and early teen programming, and then not too much, I don't think, going on in the afternoon. There was much different. Maybe some concerts or something like that. There was also MTV, but you would maybe tune into your major networks back then. Your ABC, NBC, CBS. There were no Foxes, you know. And then, but at nighttime, you know, Mom will be home from work by then. She worked in the daytime. My sister and I were taking care of ourselves during the day. So, she'd be home for work, and if there wasn't much on, and we'd already seen the movie that was showing on HBO or something like that, then we would end up watching some late night TV programming on Nickelodeon, because they played those old TV shows like Dobie Gillis. By the way, that's a really good program, Dobie Gillis. I really think that it would be cool to revisit some of these programs and kind of really get into telling those stories because they were fun. But I wonder what they would be like in a modern setting. But Dobie Gillis, The Life of Riley, some of the ones that didn't carry on as big as, everybody knows I Love Lucy, right? Everybody knows Bewitched. Everybody knows Leave It to Beaver, and Father Knows Best. Everybody knows that. But there's some of these other programs, like Dobie Gillis. Awesome programming for teenage and young adults of the time. And it's like, today I can watch it and I still relate to it. And they even, Dobie Gillis' best friend, I forget his name, but he was played by, I want to say Bob Denver. Yeah, I think that's the name. Not Gilligan, So cool. I don't know the whole name of the program, but Dobie Gillis was the name of the character. And if you just Googled Dobie Gillis, you would find it out, for yourself. That's a cool program. Look at this moon. So, you see, I get like stupefied and tongue-tied even in front of like people who should be quaking. Look at it. They were like, "Are you blogging or vlogging or whatever?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you want in or whatever?" And then we had our little exchange, and then they skated off, and then they were like, "Hey," they were making some noise, and they actually they were like, but I was just gonna be like, "Hey," and keep on walking. But when they asked, "Are you vlogging?" and then I saw the skateboards, I was like, "Well, why not?" What I like about skaters is that because there's a whole subculture. I was never a skater as a teen. I'm not athletic at all. I did some taekwondo. But people weren't, we didn't have vlogging, we didn't have anything back then, nothing. So, and the only thing that people would be interested in anyway would be the fights. And I was never a great fighter. I would place, third, fourth, something like that. I wouldn't be like the worst, but very seldom did I get a gold medal. Sometimes, I would luck out. The National Junior Olympics, I got a silver medal, but there wasn't that much of a competition for my weight division and everything, and so that's what it is, because I was a very slight guy, short. I matured slowly. Like, you hear my voice, right? My voice, I have a high-pitched, I've never had like a fully mature voice, like I'd have to be like Batman. And then of course I had the teeth, Vic, so I got the lisp, so there's I'm gonna get you, Joker, that kind of stuff. It would be that silly. So, okay, why did I ever think that every time I'm walking by I could never tell, was the Sports Trans City sign, was it lit or not? I could never quite tell. Was it just like really, really awesome design for it? They do have the Sports Trans City up. When they get around to really doing this and opening up, there's going to be like a rest area with the restaurant and a cafe and everything like that. And then there's also going to be some other places, some offices on top, and maybe some, for the drivers, so they can get some physical exercise too, and get some downtime when they're in their downtime. Now, the one thing I think they need to do, this is all good and sweet and everything, and we would love a diner down here. I'll come have lunch down here while I'm waiting for a bus or whatever. But what they need to do, listen at me, sports train people, you need to get a little bit more on point with your nighttime buses. You need to be where you're supposed to be within, I don't know, a 7-minute differential difference or something. Differential difference. Is that like redundant, right? That's like a repetitive redundancy that happens, more than once in a succession. Okay, but I am going over to the bus stop, and I'm gonna wait around and catch a bus, and I'm gonna go to the gym and work out. So, but skaters, yeah, back to them. The skaters that we have down here, they love to get like a snapshot or something like that. They're not like camera shy. They're little show-offs, and that's kind of cool. And who doesn't like to, I don't know, if you have a talent, who doesn't like to be able to show off that talent? And I trace this all the way back to the home videos that we used to get from like Tony Hawk. Let me step out this dude's way. Hey, I'm good. I just can't walk and talk at the same time. But this Tony Hawk, the skater, he was like the big huge star back in the day, and my friends were like into that and watching it, and like, and some of these things went on all the way back to the 80s when I was a teen. You know, there were like videos that you would get. You know, BMX was a big thing back then too. I don't know. I think I probably would have been a lot more into things like that, but you just can't do everything that's of interest all the time. It's just like TV shows, streaming TV shows that people tell me about. You got to watch this or that or whatever. And if I watched everything people hit me to, I definitely wouldn't be able to do anything else. I mean, and some of that stuff I just don't give a damn about. You know, I don't really care about football. Only time I can watch football is like maybe Super Bowl. You know, when it's when it's a group, when it's a party. And then I can sort of get into the action while I'm there. But what else? I don't know. But skating, I loved roller skating. And back in my day, your skates had 4 wheels, one on each corner of the foot. Now they're like in line or something. Do they still do that? Or did they retro? I don't know. I would still be skating if we had adult skating. But if I try to skate now, they're going to be like, dude, why is somebody in their 50s hanging out with someone who's 13 years old? It would kind of look a little sus. Wow, now I'm rethinking posting the video, but I'm gonna. Whatever. But I'm gonna sit down here, wait till I'm gonna find a little quiet spot so I can keep talking. I like the subculture that and this whole little heroes and everything like that the skaters have. You know, I feel like even as a kid, if I tried to skate, you know, I would like seriously injure myself. And you know, I'm just one broken hip away from a nursing home anyway. So, you know, it's like, like, oh my God, why are people talking to me? I literally don't want to talk to people. It's mostly because of my not smoking the cigarettes that I'm really trying to walk the hell away from people. But yeah, people do randomly walk up and start talking to you. Let me end this video because the buses are going to be here soon and I'm going to be on my way to the gym. I don't want to post this. And then I'll probably make some videos on my way home. And yeah, love and light. God bless. Ciao.